Okay, I'm going to try to finish this thing up here. I've got to read back a little bit because my computer got too hot and it crashed. And so I've got to redo it. The part that crashed here. Okay. Okay. Jeff Long walked up to Newton and said, "Newton, why don't we leave Bob and Ramada alone? Ain't no way we can beat them. They'll be too strong for us." Yeah, Jeff Long walked up to Newton and said, "Newton, why don't we leave Bob and Ramada alone? Ain't no way we can beat them. They'll be too strong for us, know what I'm saying?" Well, it was a cool fight. It was a cool fight. Not as cool as the one you had with Quetzalcoatl, but cool all the same, know what I'm saying? That fight was both shocking and on, know what I'm saying? Newton looked depressed and said, "Maybe you're right, Jeff. Might be it might not be possible to free those people down there after all. Bob, apparently, is too powerful. If we could find the planet it comes from, this planet Ramada, then I bet we could destroy him. But where is it located? And of course, is there a planet Ramada even? That might be a lie brought about from the glowing being who you talked about as well. The parasite probably is nomadic and doesn't even belong to any planet." Glissa came onto the bridge and said, "I think we've been going about it all wrong, Newton." "What do you mean?" "From what we witnessed, and from what you described from your meeting with the Holy Helpers, if you kill them, you just make more of them. And let's face it, you, apparently, aren't strong enough physically to take Bob on, even in ultra-mutant form. But in the fight, we noticed something hopeful." "What's that?" Newton asked his alien friend. "We definitely detected a decrease in energy coming from the invisible force field that surrounds the Golden Dome everyone is forced to face, including Bob." "A force field?" Newton asked. "Yes, and this invisible energy shield seems very powerful," said Callisto. "However, if you hadn't become ultra-mutant, I feel that we might have actually had the power to burn through the shield and destroy the absorber with phaser fire." "But we don't anymore?" asked Newton. Callisto looked a little shifty-eyed on Newton's question. Newton then looked embarrassed and said with anger in his voice, "Are you saying that because I became ultra-mutant, we now no longer have the power to destroy the absorber down there?" Callisto nodded yes. Then closed his eyes. Callisto then said, "If we just study the Golden Dome a little longer before you decided to go mano a mano, as you said," Dean Custon shouted with fury, "a city would still be there." Newton got out of his throne and clenched out of his throne with clenched fists of fury. "I feel so stupid," he roared. "Is there any way we can still destroy the absorber? Any way?" Callisto thought for a while, then said, "Sorry, Newton, we had our chance, but we now lack the energy to destroy the absorber. Since it feeds off of those who look at it, maybe we could keep them from looking at it, though?" "And how do we do that?" "How do we do that?" asked Newton, thinking he was dealing with the impossible. "By putting out a broadcast from Mutania that is so strong on all channels that no matter where they turn the dial, they will get our message in video form, telling them to refuse to obey Bob." Newton nearly shouted out, "That's easier said than done, my friend. Since facing that thing means not having a city incinerated or keeping one from going to hell, they'll only view such a message as satanic, and will face the absorber anyway. Let's face it, they already witnessed me not only failing, but literally shrinking away from Bob, and in their mind getting crushed under the huge foot of Bob, followed by the complete and utter destruction of their city that I caused. No doubt they think it was me, that it was we who then caused Bob to explode and destroy so much of the city, when in actuality it was Bob making it look like we were causing him to explode about the city. The precious population of the city be damned. Newton then looked about and said, I don't know about you, my crew, but I don't have a good track record when it comes to winning the hearts and minds of those people down there. I think our only hope of freeing them now is if we destroy the absorber. Destroy the absorber and Bob goes poof into a cloud of Potamar dust. I mean, it was supposedly Bob who created this planet in mere seconds, was it not? If Bob can't stop the absorber from being destroyed, what will that tell his faithful? Oh, by the way, Callisto, have you learned anything from the holy book that might be of use? Callisto thought and said, Bob really seems to hate the wax of this planet's kumbo tree. It considers the sticky wax of the tree unclean and unholy. Bizarre, said Newton. Lee broke in and said, before the glowing being showed up, kumbo wax was seen as a miracle wax. It had properties in it that scientists were thinking of using to make fuel for rockets. And a lot of our things were made out of it. Since it was seen as unholy, many things in our lives came to a standstill. Newton then said, the god of Ramada probably just declared kumbo wax as unholy to keep Potamars from joining the Federation. A way to keep them stuck on this planet so it could keep on feeding off their life energy till the end of time. Unholy. Yeah, right. You might have something there about them. You might have something there about it wanting to keep them from achieving spaceflight, Newton said Callisto. In the scriptures of the Worship Me or Else, there is a passage that says, if the Potamars try to leave the planet in some kind of vehicle, they'll be attacked by stars in the lowest heaven. Lowest heaven? Wondered Matt Mason. Where is that? The lowest sky. In actuality, the very atmosphere of the planet, said Callisto. What? Shouted Newton. It says that they will be attacked by stars in the very atmosphere of the planet, the lowest sky, lowest heaven, if they try to leave? Yes, it also says that the sky is actually a canopy held up over the heads of the Potamars by the very power of Bob himself, and that the sky is actually an ocean of water that both the sun and the moon ride boats or chariots in. Vessels. Not only do they ride or swim in it, but they are apparently living life forms that spawn the Potamar race by the power of Bob. In other words, both the moon and sun of the Potamar's parents. Obacopa started laughing. Callisto went on and said, apparently the god of Ramada is trying to build into the successive generations of the Potamar inhabitants a very primitive type of mentality that will keep them marooned on their planet. But it's more than unscientific. It is also preaching a moral code of conduct that is so corrupt, so twisted, so illogical that, according to one scriptural passage, you can actually kill an innocent person just by theory. Just by theory that they will either someday grow up to disappoint a parent or show ungratefulness toward Bob. But that Fuyi broke in and said, no, you haven't got it wrong, Callisto. I'm familiar with that passage. It's quoted by one of the Ramadars who knew that the boy would grow up to do bad things. That is why he killed him when he was innocent. It was to show the prophetic powers of Bob, that Bob could foretell the future. Callisto thought briefly, then responded back with, if so, why was the word fear mentioned? If this Ramadar was the prophet you claim him to be, why should he have feared the boy turning toward error? The word know would have been the word to suffice, not fear. Also, in my reading of this book, I even learned that not only is slavery allowed, but those who are most willing to face the absorber can have sex with slave girls who are married to the slothful. Say what? Said Jeff Long. You've got to be kidding. You've got to be kidding, shouted Obakova. Flea broke in and said, that's only if they don't like their disbelieving husbands and run to be with the most pious toward Bob. Callisto said, that's not mentioned anywhere in that book. It clearly doesn't state that at all. Jeff Long shook his head from side to side and said, man, it allows the slavery and says it's okay to have sex with slave girls who are married. Damn, that ain't right. Know what I'm saying? That totally takes away the grab of my people for the time there was slavery in America. If that damn book were true. Obakova then said, that takes away the grab of my people for the time the black man on my planet enslaved my people. Know what I'm saying? Crewman Matt Mason then responded with, amazing. What other stupid, evil things does it say? Callisto thought a bit and said, if you eat a certain number of a certain type of fruit, you will be protected all day from both magic and poison. What? It says that? Nearly shouted. Does it say that the sun sets in murky springs, prostrates into the throne of Bob before asking permission to rise again? Callisto thought a moment and said, no, nothing quite that backward, but I nearly cracked a smile when it went into depth of how a solar eclipse is made. Oh, I can imagine, smiled Newton. But look here. So this book has some really stupid, evil things in it. That's not the thing that is important here, people. What is important is finding out what we can do that will not only free those poor souls down there from such an evil piece of lying garbage, but also make it so Bob will never show his ugly weird beard of a face on this planet ever again. Gad. Stars attacking you in the atmosphere under a well-guarded canopy that's supposed to be the sky, made of an ocean of water the sun and moon swim in over their heads by the power of Bob. How incredibly stupid! Sheena added, and again the sun and moon in this book are supposed to be the parents of the Potamars? Oh, I gotta quit here.